What's up, y'all? It's your girl Cece, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk USC Women's Basketball. And today, I'm flying solo on the pod. Because I have a lot to discuss. And it has to do with rankings. It has to do with how colleges are being ranked for their high school recruits, post-portal rankings, way too early top 25 rankings. And this is coming about because of a tweet that I tweeted out the other day regarding the New York Times and the story that was written by The Athletic, by Chantel Jennings, on the post-portal way too early top 25 rankings. And, I get it. People say, oh, CC, these rankings don't matter. It's not a big deal. Don't put much into it. And you're right. It's not a big deal until it is. And let me tell you why. Because people read those stories. People are checking out those stories. People are into those stories. People are beefing about it. People are asking why their teams aren't this, why their teams aren't that, as am I. So even though it does matter, it does, right? And writers know that. My only ask is, why? Okay, the top 1 through 10, yeah, okay, I get it. But the top 10 through 25, you can tell that their homework wasn't done. You can tell that research wasn't done to accurately rank these teams the way they should be ranked. I don't care if it's post-portal, pre-portal, beginning of the season. The ranking system, in my opinion, is flawed because to me, it's based on popularity. It's based on who's who. It's political. It's media-based. It's money-based. It's clickbait based. It's all that, right? So I'm going to dive into how some of this stuff works and why it's flawed. So let's get into it. I want to go deep on why USC isn't getting the respect it deserves. Not only in the high school recruiting rankings, but also not in the portal rankings and not in the preseason outlook, which is crazy to me, right? Here's the situation, guys. USC signs Jazzy Davidson, the number 1 high school player in the nation. Not number 2, not number 3, not number 4, not number 5, number 1. And still, for whatever reason, because of the way they do their recruiting, we're still not considered one of ESPN's top 10 classes. And then for the portal, right? We bring in 4 portal players who directly fill a key need, one of them being ranked number 17th in the portal rankings, but the Athletic leaves us off their post-portal top 25. So it seems to me it's like, shit, Juju Watkins gets injured, and suddenly we go from number 5 in the nation to completely unranked. Make it make sense. I mean, they're saying that Juju Watkins is the team, which she definitely is. But just throwing shade and being disrespectful to our system, to our coaching staff, is crazy to me. Because as you know, we did win a top 32 game. Juju got hurt in the first 5 minutes of that game. We won a top 16 game, and we won a top 16 game, and we played UConn better than any team did all season long, except for the couple losses that they had. I think they had another loss by Tennessee or whatever. But we beat UConn, and we played them really well in that final 8 game without Juju. So to say that you're going to not rank us at all just because you think we don't have enough, mind you, let me regress here. We didn't have enough Lindsey Gottlieb's second year. Right? And we went back to the NCAA tournament. We had Destiny Littleton, Katie Sissoko, Okako Adika. We had names that nobody knew of. We didn't have any top, not even any top, I'd say 30 portal gets, right? And that team was full of transfers, 7 or 8 of them. And Lindsey got us back to the tournament. Since 2013, we hadn't been there, and Lindsey got us back with a puzzle that she put together of people that we needed and pieces that we needed to make a team play together and get us back to the tournament. And then when the Ivies came in, that still wasn't enough either. You know, we had Juju, but nobody was talking about the Ivies. Nobody was talking about, they weren't any top portal stars either. I'm just saying that to remember that. The hate, the shade that they throw this program and many others because of who we are or who our coaches aren't. Let me say it like that, who our coaches aren't. No trust, no belief in the system that our coaches have built here over the last 3 years. From that second year on, right, we have done some great things. When Juju came in with the Ivies, even for this coaching staff, we weren't projected to go to the Final 8 that year. You know, we thought it was going to be a process when Juju came in as a freshman. But we made it to the Final 8. And still, the disrespect is large. So what people fail to realize is when USC does its thing in the portal, they go player by player. And it's culture over clout. Where a lot of these teams, it's about clout. It's about player notoriety, you know, who the popular player is, whatever. USC didn't make the athletics top 25 post-portal rankings. Why? Why do you think that is? You guys know it. Because USC didn't sign a top 5 portal name, right? That's all these writers know about. They don't do their research about anything else. They know the top 5, top 10 players. If the team gets that player, yeah, it's gonna raise them to the top just because, right? They don't take into account anything else. But let's break down what we actually added. Kara Dunn, Georgia Tech, 17th ranked portal player. Probably one of the best guards in the portal. 15.5 points per game, 5.8 rebounds per game, 49.3% field goal. First team all ACC. She's a physical guard, plays both ends, finishes strong at the rim, right? London Jones, UCLA. 11.8 points per game, 87 made threes at UCLA. 37% from deep. Set UCLA's single season 3-point record. She's an elite floor spacer. And she's not just a catch and shoot 3 player. She has a very quick release and she can take you off the bounce even though she's small. She plays big. Woof, woof, woof. She's a dog. Diana Mendez, I'm sorry if I flounced that name up again. 8.3 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 41% from the field. Per 40 minutes, 18 points and 12 rebounds per game. Tough, man. Tough. Efficient, runs the floor. Another dog. Woo woo. Another dog. Yakia Milton, Auburn. Rhea-like. So Rhea-like. 6'5" post. Shot blocker. Rim protector. Physical interior presence. Now, what do all these players do for us as a team? Together they bring more athleticism, better defense, better spacing, and toughness, right? Real fits for our system. We look for real fits. Do you fit our system? Do you fit our culture? Do you want to come in and help us win? Now, the other thing I want to talk about, what affects the portal, is NIL. USC is not going to do a money grab no more, right? They not playing like that. They know what they want. They don't have to go out there and pay $500,000, $250,000 for a player. They're not going to chase hype. People wondering why we didn't go after Fuwali. Why? For what? We don't chase hype. We want players who care about winning. We want players who care about development and culture. Players who fit the team. We don't want players who chase stats. We want team. Hey, I don't give a shit. This class won't trend on Twitter, but I guarantee you this class is going to win some basketball games. Yep. This class that we're bringing in is going to win some basketball games. So, look, I want y'all to chime in. For real, for real. Would you rather sign a top 5 portal name or four perfect fits? You tell me. You know? In my opinion, just in my opinion, respectfully, we upgraded. You know, I'm not saying that Kiki and Rhea were phenomenal pieces. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the 2 freshmen that jumped in the portal. We lost Kaylee Heckel and we lost Avery Howell. Both great players. Both contributed, but let's compare. Heckel, she played 17 minutes per game. Now, she shot very well from the field. She shot 45.9%. She made 45.9% of her shots. And she scored six points a game, maybe about 2 assists. You know, but did she fit our system? Did she really fit our system? Think about it. And then Avery Howell, another dog. 7.5 points per game, 3 rebounds per game. She shot 43% from the field. She shot 40% from 3-point range. But she was a catch and shoot 3. That was basically all she could do. Defensively, she was okay, but not like what we got. Not like what we got in the portal. So we didn't replace players. We didn't just go in the portal and replace players. We got better. Respectfully, I believe it's an upgrade. I really believe that. Coach G had less than a week to redesign the system when Juju got hurt. And she delivered. That's coaching. That's leadership, right? That's players buying in to the goal at hand. And yet, the media feels like, oh, wow. I don't know who those portal players are. And y'all don't have Juju. And yeah, Jazzy was the number 1 player in the nation. But nah, still not good enough to be ranked in the top 25. It's so disrespectful. It is. It's so disrespectful. So here's, in my opinion, what rankings don't measure. Rankings don't measure fit. Rankings don't measure culture. Rankings don't measure defense, right? And defense in women's basketball is becoming such a popular part of the game. Rankings don't measure coaching impact. And rankings don't measure development potential. I just want to touch on the top 10 rankings. And for those of you that are watching me on video, you can see this page pulled up right now. For those of you listening via the audio podcast, I will explain what I'm doing. I have the top 25 list up that Chantel Jennings put out. Now, the top 4, the top 3, it is what it is. They're there. LSU had the biggest jump because of that Fuwali transfer portal get. Again, clout over culture, right? Clout over culture. Because they got Fuwali, why does that move them all the way up to number 3 when you don't even know how Fuwali, Williams, and Caval are going to play together? How's that going to work? Fuwali's dominant. She's a ball-dominant player. She doesn't like to play defense. And then you got Gilbert, right, who's another ball-dominant who wants the ball in her hands all the time. That's one of the reasons why she left Arizona, because she didn't want to play team ball. So that's going to be interesting. Should they be number 3? I don't believe so. Number 4, UCLA. Now, why is UCLA ranked number 4? I really, really would like an explanation. Because they still have Lauren Betts. Every freshman in that class left. Barker left. London left. key contributors left that team. You have Sienna Betts coming in. How are you ranking them number 4? If you can't tell me that's bias, I don't know what it is. Can someone please drop in a comment why UCLA is ranked number 4? I'm willing to hear and accept explanations if they make sense, but it's got to make sense. And not knowing how this team is going to look, just like you don't know how USC is going to look, and USC got the number 1 player in the nation and has Kennedy Smith. They have a squad returning and great portal gets. And you have UCLA at number 4. The other thing that stood out to me, Washington and Minnesota and Iowa. How are you ranking these teams? They had no major portal pickups. Minnesota finished 12th or 13th in the Big Ten. Washington, they finished 12th in the Big Ten. Didn't make it past the first round. Minnesota played in the WBIT tournament and won that tournament, but who did they play? Mostly every team that they played in the WBIT had a losing record. They played Florida. Florida finished 11th in the SEC. They played Boston College. Boston College finished last place in the ACC. So that tells me just what I said at the beginning of this video. From 10 to 25, it's we're just going to put you in here. Oh, yeah, you won the BIT, so, yep, I think that's worth 17. You don't have any major portal pickups. You don't have really any standout players that are returning. You have your squad returning, but you finished 12th or 13th in the Big Ten, and you're jumping them up to 17th. Look, she has UCLA, Michigan, Washington, Michigan State, Iowa, Minnesota, all ranked in the top 25. No USC. So you know what that tells me? That she's thinking USC is not even going to be in the top 5 in the Big Ten. You got to be kidding me. USC is not even going to be top 5 in the Big Ten. So help me in the comments. Help me understand what her thinking is. What could be her thinking? Is USC going to be that bad in her mind? That Minnesota, a 13th place team in the Big Ten last year, is going to be better than USC. Okay, guys, I wanted to come on this pod and talk about rankings, and I wanted to close the loop and really offer some solutions as well. In my opinion, mainly these other analysts and writers got to do their research. They can't just be plugging and playing, right? But here's the truth. The high school ranking model is outdated. It favors quantity over impact, and you can't do that. You can't have a football ranking system for basketball. It's just not going to work. The portal rankings, it's all about chasing clout. It's nothing about cohesion. So when y'all think about this and you think about what I'm saying, I do have some fixes, but I want y'all to think about this and chime in for me. Should the number 1 recruit automatically mean a top 10 class for that college or university? And I want y'all to comment below. Do you think the rankings are helping or hurting the game? That's a big one. We've talked about the problems with the rankings, and now I want to talk about some solutions for both the high school and the portal rankings to make it better and to make it more just cohesive and fair. So I think with high school, to fix the system, a college with the number 1 overall pick should automatically be rewarded accordingly, even if it's a small class. That team that gets the number 1 overall pick, you have weighted scoring. The number 1 player equals automatic top 10 class. That's the baseline. Then you create an impact index. So you factor in expected minutes, role, and projected production, which means that analysts and writers, again, have to do their work. But then the ranking system would be fair and would be more accurate than it is now. The third option is a hybrid model. You can combine point totals and top recruit value. Those are my three for high school. As far as the transfer portal, as it becomes more and more the heartbeat of college basketball roster building, you got to evolve the portal rankings. Too often, I think, the rankings rely on name recognition and previous height rather than production, fit, or actual impact. Current portal rankings reward big names, former high school stars, and players from Power 5 programs. That's it. They ignore role players who thrive in the right system, mid-major standouts, ready for the leap, defensive specialists, glue players, or system shooters. I can give you an example. Mackenzie Forbes from Harvard. When she made that leap back to USC, she was ready. When you don't do this correctly, and when you're not doing your research, you get misleading narratives, right? You get a bunch of BS. The results is that a team that picks up a top 5 portal post is automatically labeled a contender, even if that player doesn't complement their roster or system. Here's a fix. Weighted transfer value index. Portal classes should be ranked using 4 weighted categories. 1, system fit, 35%. Does the player align with the team's offensive and defensive style? Does it fill a need? Example would be, Kara Dunn fits USC's read and react offense perfectly. Yes, she does. What does that mean? Analysts and writers have to do their homework. You're forcing them to do their job, the job that they're hired to do, the job that they're supposed to be doing, to make it more accurate. Number 2, college production, weighted 30%. What has the player actually done at the college level? Points per game, efficiency, win shares, usage rate, etc. And then 3, what's their projected role going to be? What's their impact going to be for that team that they're transferring to? That's weighted 25%. Will that player be a starter? Rotational piece? Cultural leader? Prioritize who will impact winning, guys. And then 4, weighted 10%, pedigree and upside. Includes high school ranking, physical tools, upside. Y'all, we got to get this right. We got to make writers do their job. You know, when detectives are trying to find out how somebody committed a homicide, they have to do their research to get it right. Any missed clues will bring false narratives and might accuse the wrong person. It's the same thing. Writers aren't doing their job. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not here to bash analysis or rankings. I respect the work that goes into it, but I do believe we got to go deeper and we got to get it right and we got to do our jobs. Claiming a team won the portal because they landed one big name is like saying to me, in my opinion, and I'm always saying this is my opinion, so you guys can come at me if you want. It's like saying an NBA team won free agency by signing a fading star who doesn't fit the offense. It's a surface level evaluation. It's a surface level evaluation. We got to reward teams like USC who recruited for balance, defense, and cohesion. Kara Dunn, she might not make the flashy headline, but 15.5 points per game in the ACC, that's an elite fit for us. That's roster building for us. That's portal strategy, not hype. That kind of stuff has to be rewarded and looked at by the people who are writing this stuff, who are coming up with the rankings, who are putting it out there for millions of readers to see. You got to get it right. You got to get your research. And that's all I got for y'all today. Hey. Oh, wait, before I go, y'all don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on the questions that I ask, participate. continue to build this USC page, this USC YouTube channel, the audio stream. Please subscribe to the audio streams, whatever one you want, so you get notifications. And let's keep building this thing. This has been the Let's USC Women's Basketball Podcast. Thank you for listening. And hey, fight on, fight on, fight on.